The skate shop that almost ruined my life. The title might be a little dramatic, but nah, yeah, they almost ruined my life. By the way you look, the way you're dressed, your shoes, your pants, you don't look like you skate. We all go through tough times, no matter what age and how much money you have. But there's always that toughest time you remember. And for me, one of those toughest times was when I was at the skate shop on Crenshaw Boulevard and I was 13 years old. I wasn't that good of a skater at the time, but I was more dedicated than this kid trying to finish his sentence.
This nigga trying to cook a motherfucking, damn, ham, a fucking sandwich.
And what does every young skateboarder dream of having? A sponsor! A sponsorship, a sponsor. What's so dedicated and so, nigga. We're so desperate to have the bragging rights and that title of being sponsored that we'll take anything. I asked the ice cream truck to sponsor me one time. And they couldn't speak English, so they responded to me in Spanish, which I don't know why they're serving ice cream in the area that's with a lot of people who speak English. Anyways, they couldn't speak English, so they responded to me in Spanish when I asked them, do you sponsor? And they probably responded in Spanish saying, we don't understand what you're saying. I know I'm confusing y'all. And my young, ignorant self somehow came to the conclusion, I'm black and half Puerto Rican. So since I'm half Puerto Rican, I should be able to speak Spanish, right? So I try to respond in Spanish and I sounded like this.
Despacito. I don't know the words, so I say poquito. I don't know the words, so I say chorito.
Anyways, I was with a good friend of mine and I stayed a weekend over his house and we were skating from morning to night. I'm talking about non-skating for hours and hours from morning to night. We just had that desire of getting better. We would skate anything around his house, which for some reason was only flat ground, curbs, and gunshots. What was good about us too, we were really supportive of each other. We would compliment each other's tricks and always push each other to do a stunt or something that we couldn't do. We always motivate each other. Then one day he told me about this local skate shop down the street from his house. He told me the people were cool, the skate shop was great, the name was cool, the product they had was amazing. It was just an awesome place. I'm gonna just point this out right now. The best part about it is the owners were black. Now look, I'm not being prejudiced or racist or anything like that. Obviously I'm black, half black, whatever. And the fact that the owners were black, especially at that time, there weren't many black skateboarders at the time, and there weren't any black owners of skate shops at all. And that pointed out to me. So I asked my friend, do they sponsor? He said probably, but he wasn't sure. So we skated to the skate shop, which was like 15 minutes from his house. We finally get there and I was nervous. I was freaking out more than this guy. I finally built the confidence to walk into the skate shop. It was really small, but it was a big deal. So since my friend goes there often and buys boards or whatever, he introduced me to everybody in the skate shop. There was about 3 guys, including the owner of the skate shop. They seemed really cool. They were explaining to me how they got to this point of having this skate shop and how hard it was, and they would give me knowledge on the skate industry, whatever they thought the skate industry was, and I was just there looking at them like. Then after he gave me a tour of the skate shop, which took 10 seconds and 3 steps, I got the owner's attention and I told him I want to ask you something, which obviously was the question if they sponsored or not. Now let me demonstrate the conversation for you. You might laugh, but at the time it hurt. Hey, I've been skating for like about 3 years now, and I skate a lot. Like everything I do is skateboard, and I've stacked footage. I have some footage stacked up, and I was just wondering if you accept sponsor me tapes. The dude looked at me like I was joking. And remember, at the time, he was like a giant to me. I was short, so it was real intimidating. What this guy said really almost ruined my dream of making it in skateboarding. Make it pro, whatever, just make it in skateboarding, period. What he said was so embarrassing and almost made me cry in front of everybody. He said, pretend the steering wheel is my shoulder, because I have to grab something because he grabbed me by the shoulder. Do we sponsor? Let me put it this way. You don't present yourself like a skater. How am I supposed to believe you? How am I supposed to believe you got tricks? How am I supposed to know? You don't look apart. First of all, this dude, it hurt. Yes, it hurt me. But first of all, this dude is very contradicting. He's telling me I don't look apart to be sponsored. And he's asking me, how you supposed to believe that I skate? Nigga, I told you I want to send you a sponsor me. I'm getting mad. He literally judged a book by its cover. He looked at me since I didn't have money. My grandparents didn't have money at the time. All they could do was spend their last on me at JCPenney's, which you know the clothes there is really whack. But I thank my grandparents. My grandparents took care of me. I know it was hard. They didn't have to do that, but they did. They took care of me and I loved them. So I didn't have good clothes. I didn't have any skate shoes either. I really didn't look like a skater at the moment, but I skated. I just skated what I could. Like I had like Hillies or something. I don't know what I had, dress shoes, something like that. But he just really looked at me and judged the book by its cover and didn't even let me send a sponsor me tape. To most people, it probably doesn't seem that bad. But I mean, now if that would have happened to me, I would have. But at the time, I was 13 years old and very gullible and excited about everything. So people with that little power, owning a skate shop and stuff like that, whatever they told me, it really hit me. It affected me. Plus, his musty, dread-headed niggas in the background were laughing at me. Like I said, if that would have happened to me now, I would have knocked them out like X. Grandma, let me ask you something. Grandma.
What?
Listen, it's perfect that you're calling me. I want to ask you. Remember back in the day when I started skating, we couldn't afford skate shoes and skateboards and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Remember that? So I'm just confirming. I'm just letting it,
confirming. Yes.
Yep. I couldn't, I used to skate, like the dress shoes you gave me and Hillies, right? Yep. Perfect.
I remember.
Remember that skate shop called you like crazy, asking to sponsor me? Because
right.
And I said no because
I forgot all about that.
So yeah, this is the best part about it. Like my grandma said, the skate shop kept calling my grandma over and over. They ended up wanting to sponsor me. Let me tell you why they wanted to sponsor me. One day, it was like a month later or something like that, 3 weeks later, something like that. They had a skate competition across the street at this park. They only had flat ground there. It wasn't a skate park, it was just a park. And it was just flat ground. It was a game of skate. I was like, all right, I'm entering. And in my head, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. They told me I wasn't good enough. I'm going to win. I'm going to prove them wrong. Long story short, I went there. People older than me, I'm 13. There's grown people there. I'm playing everybody back to back to back to back. I'm beating everybody in a row. I'm not trying to sound cocky, none of that. I'm just winning. I'm dedicated. I'm quiet. I'm doing it every time I win. Thank you. Good job. Bam. The dude was just looking at me like crazy. He's like, oh, like he's getting excited and he's all hyped and da. He didn't expect that. I know he didn't expect it. So I'm winning. And it was me and the last guy for the final round. And that was kind of scary. It wasn't really T to T, but it was still kind of scary. I think it was T to T. Something like that. I won. I end up winning. The dude comes up to me, puts my hand up, congratulates me, takes me in the back of the room, gives me some boards, 3 boards, something like that, whatever the prize was, ironically. Then he was hyped. He asked for my number and stuff. So I gave him my number, blah, blah. We left. I'm excited. I felt like I proved somebody wrong. And tell me why this dude called my house, my grandma's house, back to back every day. I asked my grandma, called my house back to back, asking my grandma if he could sponsor me, if I could be on the team. I told my grandma, tell him no. No. My grandma come in the room as I'm playing the Tony Hawk game, something. Like, they want to know if you want to be sponsored, blah, blah, whatever she was saying. I was like, tell them no. I remember my grandma asking me why. I told her because they dissed me. I told her the whole story. And long story short, I think like a month later, something like that, that skate shop went out of business. They're not there anymore. I don't wish that upon nobody, but they did almost ruin my dream, what he told me. But now that I think about it, I'm kind of grateful for it, because going to that contest with that motivation of proving them wrong really gave me that power and strength to really get better after that. After that, I kept practicing. I kept going and going and going and just trying to get good at skateboarding. And now I grew into just wanting to be good at skateboarding. It's not even about being pro anymore. It's about just being at a pro level and entertaining you guys, my fans, the people that I love. You guys support me. You guys make my life great, and it's amazing. I know I've been talking about a street part lately. And I dropped some throwaway footage on my Instagram with some VX with Eddie. And that whole deal I've been telling you guys about that I'm going to sign, I'm talking to these people about budgeting the street part, so it won't just be no LA clips and spots. So street part is going to come. I'm just not going to promise you guys when, but I'm aiming for this year. It's going to come. I'll tell you guys more about that once I really get started. I got some clips for it though. I'm not just not skating, if you guys ask it. I am doing these videos, like these rants and stuff like that, to entertain the people who are true friends of mine and want to see more than just skateboarding. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm up north. That's why I've been doing these rants a lot. I'm still going to do more rants. But after this, probably going to do a vlog. Skate with Dante. I'm heading home today. Peace out. Love you guys. New language. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, new language.